Hello, friends. Miss Natalie here. Today, I want to show you how to do the space sampler for our digital art class. I am starting not on Krita, but actually at the space sampler assignment page, which I got to by going to the digital art homepage and clicking on the space sampler link in the one-stop shop. You can also go to the modules for this class and find the space sampler under Unit 4. Okay, so why are we starting here? Because I just wanted to briefly go over the project requirements, and we also need something from here. So you're going to start, we're going to save this image right here and create a new 16 by 16 document in Krita. We're going to import that image as a layer and place it under the paint layer. We're going to adjust the opacity to 50%-ish and use the multi-brush tool on the paint layer to create a mirror image. Let's do that. Oh yeah, and this is the video. So we're going to right click, save image as, and we're going to save it as profile. Mine, I don't know why it shows up that way, but Profile and save. And I saved it in my digital art folder so I can find it again. All right, now let's head over to Krita. We're going to create a new image that is 1600 pixels by 1600 pixels. And we just click create, and there we go. We have a fresh blank canvas. The first thing we're going to do is go up to the layer, the word layer in our top menu. Click there, and we're going to import a layer. So we click, we choose import export, slide over and go to import layer and click there. Again, show you one more time. Layer, import export, import layer. You can see that's how we do it. All right, and that's going to bring up our images. Make sure you find your digital art folder and profile. You can click there and hit open. All right, the next thing we're going to do is we are going to move that layer so it is under the paint layer 1. We go over to the layer docker and we click on the word profile and hold and then drag it down under paint layer 1. Another thing we're going to do in this layer docker is adjust the opacity of the layer. Remember, opacity means like how not see-through something is. So if you make it less opaque, if you make the opacity lower, then you'll be able to see through it better. So if we click somewhere in the middle, 49, 50, 51, doesn't matter really. If you want to get specific, you remember you can go up and there you go. And you can see over here, now we can see through our image more. Again, the opacity is normally 100%. We click somewhere in the middle, and that's close to 50%, and it's more see-through. We don't want it to be completely see-through. We still want to be able to see it, but we want to be able to see what we're doing on top of it better. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to move the picture over and make it larger. So we're going to use this transform a layer or selection tool over on the toolbar. It looks like a square with a dot inside of it. If we click there, and we can click and hold and click and hold and drag and move it around. We can also click and drag to make it different sizes and make the aspect ratio different. However, we really want the same aspect ratio as we have now. So we can hit Shift before we click on that corner, click on the corner where we have the You got to make sure you got that back and forth kind of arrow. If you have this round and round, it'll adjust it that way. And that one will skew it up and down. So don't do those. Make sure you have this corner to corner arrow. Hit shift, click, hold, and drag. And we want to make this really big. Again, shift, click, and drag. We are going to make it so that the top of her head is at the top of our frame and the bottom of the neck is at the bottom of our canvas. And then we're going to pick it up and we're going to slide it over so we just see her profile and it's about halfway. Okay, perfect. Our image is imported and adjusted. Great. Now we're going to work in the paint layer 1. So we want to click over there on paint layer 1 in our layer docker. And we're going to choose our next tool, which is the multi-brush tool. It looks like 3 paintbrushes that are joined at the non-brush end. Okay, and then we want to choose a color. I have this lovely blue. It's pretty good. You could also choose a red. You just want a color that's definitely going to show up. It's going to pop. Yeah, we'll go with red. Red is good. Before we get started, we need to make sure we have the right tool options because what this brush does is it lets you do multiple brushes at the same time. And what we're trying to do is make a kind of face vase illusion. So we want to make sure that our type for our multi-brush is mirror. We want things to be mirrored left to right. So whatever we do on this right side will happen on the left. And the best way to make sure that that happens is to choose mirror and choose horizontal in the tool options. That's mirror and horizontal. The default tool option is actually symmetry, which you're like, oh yeah, symmetry, same on both sides. But often it gives you multiple brushes. See, this is 4 brushes. The cool thing is you could do like symmetry with and do something like this for a kaleidoscope, which is really neat. But for this assignment, we are using the mirror tool and just horizontal. So whatever you do on the right side is going to happen on the left. And you know what we're going to do on the right side? Yeah, we're going to trace over this face, this profile. And I'm going to do it faster than I would if I was doing this for an assignment. So I'm doing this fairly rapidly and I am using a physical mouse because I don't want this video to be ridiculously long. So you can stop and readjust and you can go super slow if you really want to. In for the mouth and out and around, and I'm going to stop there and readjust my hand. I would suggest that if you need to readjust, you do it in transition areas, like where the nose and the lip or the inside of the mouth or this part of the neck where we're transitioning to going right to kind of sloping down. All right. And if you want to do the face vase assignment, you can take this, what you did, because you basically did the face vase illusion. And after you save it for your sampler, you can come back and turn it into your space digital drawing. But we're just going to stop here because this is for the sampler. And we're going to go to File and Save As. And this is Space Sampler. And we don't want to save it as a Krita document. We want to save it as a, oh, I just realized if I don't save it as a Krita document, we can't go back. So I'm going to show you what to do if you want to save it as a JPEG, but you also want a Krita version to work on. And what you do is you choose JPEG here and you hit save, but here you click also save your image as a Krita file and OK. And that keeps this as a Krita file with all those different layers, but it also gives you a JPEG. The one thing you have to be careful of is this is now called Space Sampler JPEG, but it's not a JPEG. It's still a Krita document. How can you tell? Because you have multiple layers. JPEGs only have a single layer. Krita files have multiple layers. So do be careful when you upload that you're not uploading the Krita version, that you're uploading the actual JPEG. All right. That was longer than it should have been, but hopefully you learned something and you can go out and make your space sampler.